How many of us have them friends?
9 to 5.
9 to 5.
9 to 5.
9 to 5.
9 to 5. It's okay to me on my end. You know what I'm saying? I don't edit, so it's
none of my business. It's none of my business.
When I do the video. Sir, what are you playing? You trying to get us flagged? You ain't editing that music or nothing. What you doing?
Huh?
What you doing? You trying to get a DCMA note to hit on our account? What you doing?
I didn't do. I'm talking. We talked. You don't feel like it's we're graduating? This is it. I hate it. First of all, I hate that song. So,
why do you hate that song though? Yeah. Is it because it got overplayed in the 90s at every single elementary school graduation? Or
I wanted to scream. I wanted to cry.
I wanted to in the third grade losing their mind. Like,
Vitamin C had a grip on the graduation.
Shout out to Vitamin fucking C, who killed the game easy for every going away, any fucking festivity. As we go on, we remember all the times it's crazy.
Such a simple song too.
It's a simple ass song, but I refuse to ever. If I hear that song, it's going off.
How many people probably are still eating off of that one song? Her and Mariah Carey, I feel like, have the most residual bag in the history of
Mariah Carey for sure. She's the GOAT on that.
She pulling in like $500,000 at least every Christmas.
More than that.
Off a 20-year-old song.
Yeah, that tops the chart each and every holiday, bitch. That's crazy. It don't get old either.
Oh no.
You know what I mean? Like for example, that song, old as shit to me. I hate it. Can't stand it.
The older and the blacker a Christmas song is, the better.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, episode 162 of the 9 to 5 podcast. This is it. This is the last podcast for a very long time, maybe ever. I don't know. A long ass time. Torrance, this is one of my favorite moments of my life. You know, I wanted to tell you this for a long time. I'm excited to be done with this.
To be done with you specifically.
That's what it sounded like. This nigga wants hands.
Because he said you, Taurus. So it's like,
me and Colin are in a great position. No, I'm just joking. These are jokes. 951.
Well,
it's a podcast about work life and balancing it all. I am your host, Dan.
That's what you're going by today.
That's how you gonna end it.
That's how you want to end it for folks, Dan.
Okay,
yes.
Great, excellent.
Is that what your mom called you as a kid? Was that like a childhood nickname?
No.
It's possible. You got Kyle here.
And Torrance.
I feel like some new listeners think that Kyle is actually Asian, and my life's purpose has been fulfilled. I could easily be like a 23andMe like ambassador, just like guessing people's nationalities.
But
that's not what 23andMe does.
But you're completely off.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. 23andMe is all about accuracy.
It's not like somebody it's not like you upload a picture and they're like, this person looks 14% Filipino.
Like
it's like it'd be like full-blown white people. Like, I'm 45% Scottish and 61% fucking Italian. Okay, sir, so you're just white. That's it. That's all you need to know.
That is not their business model. I'm sure.
What difference does it make?
Off of pictures.
Be like, look at his eyes. Look how his eye go that way. Right. Look at his earlobe. You see his earlobe? He got one of them kind of earlobes.
That's the Belgian earlobe.
The Belgian. That's a staple
swoop at the bottom.
That's that swoop. Yeah.
You go back to them same countries. You don't know where the fuck anything. You got to use Uber Eats and Uber and Google Maps to go everywhere. It does not, unless you were adopted at birth by like 2 white people in San Francisco. Doing 23andMe, I feel like it's a waste of time.
I did it for mine just because I was curious.
I'm sure you were, Kyle.
I mean,
for black people, oh my God,
people don't know where they're from.
Black people don't know where they're from.
I'm ignoring Danny, but
yes.
it's just it's
But
just
even
interesting.
still, even if okay, but if you don't know where you're from, as a whatever, you know that at some point it was slavery was involved a lot.
Yes.
What I guess my just thought or concern is like, what does that change? You still at the end of the day know where you come from.
Anything, but it's just kind of nice knowing or having like some
because for some people it may change it. For some people they may do it.
There's over 50 countries in Africa, so saying that our people are from Africa, it's like saying,
Sure, but it's not like there's even still there's not like a direct. It's not like your people came over from Nigeria and they all with Nigeria.
Theoretically, you could take it as a starting point. You could take it from a starting point and try to do some other research. Like people have found their home tribes in XYZ country or whatever. So if you were so moved to do that, go ahead. I just did it so I could get a jump start into family genealogy because I have trouble going back past like 2 generations past.
I'm about to say a couple greats is kind of difficult. So.
Yes, I mean, on my grandfather's side, I was able to get back pretty far on my paternal grandfather, but like my dad's mother's side, it's tough to get past like her parents or her grandparents. So, I mean, it's just helpful.
Have you ever visited never mind. I was gonna go
Asia. I've been to China, if that's what you were about to ask, but no, I haven't.
No, it's crazy. I've been thinking about the last couple of podcasts about telling jokes, and people like I guess Asian people have been getting like harassed.
Yeah,
that's fucked up.
Harassed and attacked. They've been beating up old Asian people in California, which is horrible. Yeah. I saw that Jeremy Lin said he's been getting called coronavirus like on the court in G League games, which is wild. God. I don't know if
because it's like, Jeremy Lin.
I don't know if it was like potential fan or if it was like somebody guarding him. Like, hey, shut up.
It's not cool, but also like, what?
Imagine calling somebody coronavirus while you strapping them up, bro.
Right.
Hey, little brother, you ain't getting no fucking.
The problem is that it's like the problem.
Not even a good joke.
No, it's
number one. It's not a good joke, but it's literally like that kind of propaganda that like incites violence kind of shit, like that kind of thing that like takes something from being like, oh, it could be, I guess, it's not really a funny thing, but like when you hear, oh, it's the Chinese virus, it's like, okay, like no one really is thinking in my mind. I never thought, okay, if I go to China, I'm definitely gonna catch a virus from Chinese people. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's not reality. But for some,
every time I see a white person, I'm gonna say smallpox, man, or what? I don't know. It's like, I mean,
a great point, excellent point, and I think it's just
these jokes.
But for us, it's like a ha moment. But for other white folk who are harassing actual like Asian people, it's like dangerous.
So also the 2 points I was going to make was one, welcome to the conversation, Asian people from the blacks. So that's one part of it. We've been dealing with this kind of stuff for a long ass time. So come on board. We'll be in the back of the bus waiting for you. And why are y'all
nothing at all. Please.
I was being serious at that point.
I know you were. Keep going. I want to hear part 2.
I'm just saying people are up in arms like, this is the first of its kind. Like motherfuckers have been racist for a long time.
Absolutely.
And now all of a sudden Asian people are like, oh God, I'm a person of color. Yes, nigga, welcome to the fucking party.
Oh yeah, no. Black people use this.
That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, I'm seeing all
I
this.
just want to hear part 2. I was like, go ahead.
I'm very curious.
Part 2 was I want people not to misconstrue my Kyle Asian jokes by not understanding the back story of me calling Kyle Asian. So once upon a time, all right, no, legitimately, Kyle, if you are new to the show or listen to this 5 years later when I'm famous, Kyle is a line brother of mine, as is Torrance. And before I met Kyle didn't have any facial hair. He had a short haircut, and Kyle definitely has like very like smoothish hair for a black person. And Kyle's light skinned, and Kyle just has a look like he could be something other than black. So for the first like 6 at least 6 months of knowing Kyle, I thought he was like partially Asian. And not even on some like funny shit. I'm like, okay, like cool. Like, so he's like Torrance black, cool. So we all black. They got a little calf Asian. Probably like, and from Harlem, like in Wooty Woot. So that's why, and to this day, I don't know when I told you this, Kyle. It might have been years and years later. So
I think
that's
it was
why,
years later.
It was
honestly.
years later.
It had to be
became,
years later.
The fact that was like a part of your like his
asked.
identity. That was his identity, right? Like that was Kyle's identity.
But there was no confirmation either.
it was just
You ain't look at you asked for like you would hey, like, do you have a family picture? Like we could all share family pictures and figure out that way. You know, like
it wasn't until I seen your parents,
you know, like when you
at
forget
graduation that I figured.
and I heard him speak. That's okay.
When you forget somebody's name, you have to come up with like a random way to not offend them, but also
but also get their name.
Yeah,
how you spell your name again?
Like yeah,
That's our culture,
Mike.
But yeah, that's the bad. I'm not just trying to be racist and call Kyle Asian. I legitimately thought he was Asian. Anywho, give us 5 perfect 5-star ratings on all platforms, or else we will do a 23andMe on your whole family. And views expressed on this podcast are our own and nobody else's. This is it. This is the last episode.
Yeah. We need a break anyway. It's been a long period of time since we've taken a serious break. But go and regroup and come back better.
What do you have to say about
if Torrance doesn't murder Danny first? Are you okay, Torrance?
I'm fine. I just did.
I mean, we do.
Danny had said something. Danny had said something, so I was curious to know.
He asked how you were feeling about this, I think.
Oh, I didn't hear him. It was a little bit of over talking, and you guys were talking at the same time. I mean, I think it's necessary for us to regroup and take a look.
I need some love. I need some love.
I'm sorry, bro. Go ahead, big bro.
Oh, Torrance is big bro now.
That's why don't nobody fuck with you, yo. That's why don't nobody fuck with you, bro. That's why don't nobody fuck with you. That's cool though. Nah, go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Yeah, what's that black fact, yo?
We're gonna jump to February 29th because leap years are fun. February 29th in 1940, Hattie McDaniels became the first Black person to win an Oscar, and she won it for her Best Supporting Role in Gone with the Wind. Fun fact, she wasn't even allowed to be at the award show because of racism. So she accepted it at the hotel she was staying at, I believe.
Yeah, she walked up there, said her thank yous, and had to walk her ass on out.
I've also just never seen that movie because I don't want to watch a movie about a make-believe Confederacy land. I have no interest in that, but it's one of the highest grossing films of all time when you like factor in inflation.
Yeah, there's a thing on HBO Max. It's called Movies. I guess a docu-series sort of thing about movies, and it breaks it down from different decades. I started it not too long ago, and the first one includes Gone with the Wind, all those old like black and white films, and then like it's like I think it goes 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and thousands.
Well, that'd be decades. That makes sense.
Yeah. But like the first one was like early years of like a compilation of everything. So
makes sense. Cool.
Well, thank you for that, Torrance.
I mean, you learned something new, niggas. I'm trying to put you on game.
You don't have to say that.
I have to say what? I'm grown, nigga. What?
It's Black History Month.
So what is it, yo? What is it? What do you have to say?
I don't have anything.
Because we can get real buck on this last fucking episode, Daniel. What's up?
I make $20,000 a year, and I want to make sure that you're all up in here.
That sounds like a white woman. Who is that?
Okay. Don't worry about that.
I ain't like that.
Torrance, are you good? Are we good now? Stop recording. Are you good?
I ain't like that. We stopped recording right now.
No one's listening. Are you good?
Yeah, so you can tell us your deepest, darkest secrets right now.
You're good.
I hate you.
What's wrong, bro?
Bro, shut up! Y'all suck.
Weekly news updates, big bro.
Y'all suck.
Dan, relax.
Okay, Dan.
Bro.
In the news, Johnson & Johnson vaccine has been approved for use. This one, I don't know. I guess it's a great thing because it's going to be that single dosage through the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. However, I believe it is less efficacious, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's like 87. It's like high 80s in percentiles.
The
so
United States. I think it's 60. It's like 60% worldwide.
Yeah,
but
I mean, if it's available, I'll still take it.
Yeah,
80-something% is better than 0% with walking around with a mask. So, I mean,
absolutely.
I'd rather play the odds game with that.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I know that they're, with this approval of this, the single doses vaccine is going to allow the administering of this to sort of tick up.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you don't have to do, because I think my parents got the Pfizer vaccination, and they had to wait like 3 or 4 weeks almost
before they got the
3
second
weeks
dose
in between the second one. So I mean, if you're able to get a one-shot dose, that's great. Plus, I think they'll allow for more people to be immunized faster and create
faster.
More.
Yeah.
Now that there's 3 vaccines in rotation.
I saw a friend of mine or an old teammate of mine from, I think he's a nurse that works at a hospital or something, and he said he had bad effects from the second shot.
I think Pfizer is the one.
Chills, for like a day or two after he got his both times. Actually, my mom was fine, just a little soreness, but he said he got like real bad chills for like a day or two.
Yeah, Pfizer's the one. I believe Moderna, that was the one that didn't have as many effects. But yeah, I have heard some kind of like scary-esque stories about.
Hey, bro, side effect me up. I'll just take a sick day.
Oh yeah, I mean,
please.
These are the issues I want.
A day of
I bought my own alcohol pad. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And just
sir, why is your liquid being wet as you're walking into the?
I'm wearing a basketball jersey, so my arms are just exposed.
Just exposed, just ready. Which one? You think this one's better?
I gotta lift up a sleeve or nothing.
You think this one's better? What you think?
He's going with fucking belts around the arm. Sir, give me a shot, not heroin. Why are you? Oh, my bad. Putting it in, my bad.
Got a whole fucking rubber band tied tight right here.
Hey, I brought my old spoon and everything.
What's up? How we doing this?
Any extra ones?
What's up?
Are you fucking high? I'm sorry, go ahead.
So that's a great thing. Really excited for that. Really excited for the world to be less crazy soon. Cali is sending out, it's about to be $600 million worth of a stimulus check to certain citizens who qualify for additional help. I am not one of those citizens, so I would not be getting with a check. Making below, I think, 35,000. If you,
that's rough in California. That was my first job out of school. Matter of fact, I made less than 30 grand out of school. In California,
that's crazy. How did you?
I was making $14 an hour my first job, which is like 29 and some change a year.
Damn, bro, that's crazy. I mean, my first couple of years, I was making not even that. So I was also living in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, it's just So I mean, these people need it. If you're making
welcome to the 1%, Torrance. How does it feel?
Not yet, nigga. I'm gonna ask me about 10 years, bitch. 5 to 10 years. Ask me about 5 to 10 years, nigga.
9 stimmy checks. What's up? What's next?
Man, you told Gavin Newsom you don't even need it. You said keep it, Gavin.
No, he said I didn't need it. That's what he did.
Nah, I heard that you're Gavin's big bro.
Me, I ain't need it. That's not the truth.
Torrance, word on the street is that you are Gavin's big bro.
I said big bro. They needed more than I do, big bro.
Y'all, they some trash bitches. Y'all about to be trash with this whole podcast? That sucks. Anyway, also the House passed the $1.9 trillion stimulus package.
Oh, they did? Or the House passed it, not the Senate.
The House
hasn't gone to the Senate. Yes.
Yeah, we're waiting for the Senate to say whatever. It's very curious to see how this is going to go.
I'm not holding my breath.
Because the thing that's really, I believe, holding up a few Democrats, if I'm not mistaken, is the minimum wage.
Which makes no sense.
They do not want to raise that minimum wage.
Well, I think Manchin from West Virginia is one of the big proponents against it. He's a Democrat. But he was wild. Like Kamala went to West Virginia to talk to his folks, and they're like, "Nah, he ain't been around these parts. We want that 15 hours. Like, why would any of your constituents not want more money at a minimum floor level? It makes no sense.
It
like,
makes
Bro,
no sense.
People, regardless of party, me and Asher were talking about this. Regardless of party, these people are unhinged and selfish as fuck. And
Absolutely.
delusional.
and they're out of touch.
Even if you look at just their earnings, outside of any other money they can make under the table or even legitimately. If I'm making $170,000 a year or whatever, that's a lot of fucking money for one person to make, or even a household to make in most of the world. Outside of, even if you're in New York and San Francisco, you can at least pay your bills and live in a decent part of the town, like relatively easily. Don't be in fucking Missouri or Illinois outside of Chicago, even in Chicago. Like, so it's just like these people are well off people, even whether they were more well off before or at least and the majority of America is there are those people that are making $14 an hour working their ass off. So it's just like regardless,
$7.25. What's the actual minimum right now?
Something like that, $7.40. So it was, something low, something ridiculously low where it should be. Some cities, I think Chicago might be like 12 as the minimum or something. Like some cities have a minimum, but no reason anyone should be being paid under $15.
You shouldn't have to work more than an hour to buy a full meal at McDonald's.
Exactly.
Like when you put that in like frame of reference for what shit costs, it's absurd.
Like to me, go ahead, Tom.
No, go ahead for it.
I was just saying, I'm gonna say going through all this stuff with like things being proposed and the student loan shit being proposed, and someone who doesn't have student loans, for me to say like, oh, these niggas don't deserve to get student loan relief, I think it's so like selfish, because it's like, bro, even if you don't need it specifically, why wouldn't you want your neighbor to be able to like have relief? We're all in the same country. So that's what it's so hard to sometimes to be patriotic when you realize like, bro, people are really legitimately selfish, and that capitalism or whatever you call it is eating our patriotism alive. Go ahead, Torrance.
Oh, absolutely. I was just gonna say, like, I always think about this when I can't remember the price of Nancy Pelosi's like impeachment dress, but it was like an absurd amount of money, right? You know what I mean? Like,
it was like an $800 dress or something like that.
Well, no, it was more than $800.
Oh, that might have been like that might have been like the necklace or the brooch.
Something. Yeah, like something was only $800, but the dress itself was like a real amount of money. Because I remember being like, "Oh shit, Nancy went off and decided I'm gonna wear. I'm gonna pay this kind of money for this dress." But it and like you said, it's sort of this mentality of like, when you get to that point in your life where you can afford to pay $800 for one particular thing, that isn't a furniture item that you're going to have, you know what I mean? Like, where you can do that for a dress or this or that, or thousands and thousands of dollars, where it's light work, where you like, oh, I'm good off this. Like this is nothing to me. It takes you out of the understanding that America doesn't live that life. Like Americans, typical Americans do not live that life that you live. And it makes you less understanding and empathetic to like what people need.
Absolutely.
Like right now we're in this
space of need. Trying to make good music. Like, bro, you live a way too good of a life. Or a fighter still trying to fight. Like, you are a tens of millionaire. You don't have it anymore, bro. It's hard to be in that.
It's hard to lock in, right? Like, because I remember that whole conversation about voting for Trump versus voting for Hillary, when it was like a bunch of football players like, yeah, I'm voting for Trump. Like, rich black football players like, yeah, I'm voting for Trump because of the whole taxes thing. And I forgot who it was.
That one of the Pouncey brothers said it. It was a couple of cats that said it.
Yeah, but I forgot who it was that said, like, I mean, I got out because I play football, but my family, my cousins, my hood, everyone is suffering. So I can't vote for Trump. They
I forgot who that was,
but I make millions and millions of dollars. I'm still gonna make millions and millions of dollars at the end of the day. I forgot who that was.
Might have been Channing on I Am Athlete. Yeah. Either way, to your
point, was a conversation, but yeah,
I think that is right, Danny. Actually, yeah,
it's a great podcast too. But
but yeah, so. Hopefully that thing gets passed. Hopefully $1,400 can come to a lot of people who need it, including my black ass self.
Sure.
That would be lovely. Shut up. Don't say it, Danny. Don't say nothing. In sports, the NBA All-Stars roster has been announced. I'm excited to see Bradley Beal as a starter.
Damn straight, because he got robbed last year.
It's gonna be okay. Indeed. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good to see. It's funny because I remember, I think we talked about it where we're like, oh yeah, like y'all can't come out in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still curious to know how they're gonna police that.
They gonna have like security guards standing outside every person's door.
I mean,
because Atlanta's open, so I mean,
Atlanta's open.
Hey, I'm just going down. I'm gonna just go down the street to get some cookout. I'm gonna be right back. I ain't going nowhere.
And booty.
That Chick-fil-A down there.
Meanwhile, you see them at Compound on Instagram.
Basically, that Chick-fil-A, they got waffles, and I really want a waffle.
Did I
so
say
I'm gonna get that Chick-fil-A waffle down there. I heard that shit fire.
Did I say I was going to cookout? I meant I was going to cookout after the club.
After club, because I needed to hit
cookout after the club in Atlanta is wild, bro. It's an experience. I went to one of the cookouts you could go indoors and sit down.
Ooh, I've been into Atlanta. It's way better in the drive.
It looked like damn near fine dining in that bitch.
Drive-through's way better because it's like the line. Because the thing about the cookout trip is when it takes 45 minutes to get through the line. That's really good because you're in the car, you're already drunk, you're recapping the night.
You talking with people, you in there with a bunch of people.
Yeah. Some people yelling at other cars in the cookout line.
Yeah, you always see, especially the one that we had at school, because it'd be 2 lanes and then one lane.
Just that cookout.
Yes, right. Somebody be getting out the car like, oh, he throwing up. Oh, he throwing up. It's like, oh, this is let me walk up to their door. Wooty whoop. And then the best part is when you get to the window, it's always some hood chicks who's like excited to see you too. Like, oh, hey y'all, what y'all doing in there? Like, did you feel me? These fucking chicken.
I'm always amazed that more cops didn't like post up outside of that
absolutely,
that cookout just to pull over drunk drivers, because it'd be 3. It was open to 4 in the morning on weekends. Like we were there blasted every weekend. Like I'm always amazed by that. They could have been making hella ticket quotas.
Oh my god, they could have had a precinct right next door because people were risking their whole
the Burlington Police Department could have Teslas just based off the amount of tickets they wrote. They could have a fleet of Teslas. If they
don't you get these white people no ideas?
Cass used to be risking it, taking deep breaths all up and down. What's that fucking road?
Haggard
Mill.
Huffman Mill. That's what it was. Yeah,
risking it all. Goodness,
going to back roads to try to make sure
the burger is a chicken nuggets.
Hey, back roads. There's only 2 back roads. You about to get a ticket, motherfucker. This is not. Niggas used to take the back roads as if it's like private property. Like, sir, you're going to a highly populated place. You're getting a fucking ticket. You're drunk.
Oh my god.
You motherfucker. Sorry. What else is it? I'm sorry, Torrance.
Who else is it? Canelo won?
Sucks. Yes, no, we can skip it. Sports sucks.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, honestly, sports really does suck right now. I'm like, even with I'm glad All-Star's here, but it's tough for me to watch a lot of NBA games. I might watch like 2 or 3 in a week, if that at this point. Like my focus just isn't there. Like half the time the game is stepped on. Like half the team might be out for COVID and then injuries on top of that. You're looking at like B-rate basketball. It's not quality right now, in my opinion. But I'll watch like some of the marquee games, I guess, if people are playing.
I watched like part of the Lakers games, but I've never been a huge regular season game watcher in the NBA because there's so many games.
Yeah. And
I might watch like, the Christmas ones and prime time Lakers here and there, or prime time Cavs game. But to your point, it's kind of like like Gonzaga's like the best team in NCAA. Like who gives a fuck about
I refuse to watch college basketball this season. Like now, if you want to talk about stepped on product,
yeah,
college basketball is absolutely stepped on this season.
Everybody's one and done, and it's like the one and done shit starting to like really ruin the game.
But the rule changes next year, doesn't it? Or like this upcoming fall season, I think, for the NBA. I think they're removing the age restriction, I want to say. I
hope really.
I thought that they were. I could very well be wrong.
Either it's slated or they're thinking about it. But
yeah,
I just feel like if the guys that want to just go play early, get them out the way, and then let those guys that want to play and develop in college go to college, so that we just get the product that wants to be there.
I think that the G League plan with that G League Ignite team, where they have for those who don't know, they have like top ranked high school prospects essentially that would be going straight into the draft. They're playing on this like one G League team, and there's a couple of veteran players on it. Like Jarrett Jack is on that team too. I've caught like one or two of those games. They come on at like 3 PM, so it's good like background TV while you're working. But I mean, I think that could be a decent proving point for a lot of those guys who want to jump straight to high school or just want to do the one and done. But a lot of those dudes really aren't ready after 1 year of college
at all.
They end up riding especially those ones who, if you're not a lottery pick, most of them aren't ready, and then half the lottery picks really aren't ready to play professional basketball. So I think this G League thing could be interesting.
NCAA needs to be smart and say, let these cats get paid, so that these guys have at least an incentive. So I can, if I'm a mega player, I can at least make money off my name. My mama's good. I can get a little check, so then I can improve my shit. So then when I get to the next level, I'm really ready. I'm not flaming out. That I'm getting big checks, not just little checks.
And my talent has been developed.
Because you can always tell the players who stay for more than 1 year, especially those guys who end up staying 4 years. I mean, the league looks at those 4-year players like they're ancient nowadays, like they're too old to play, which is weird because they'll be like 21, 22, but their games are so much more complete than those dudes who come out after 1 year and then spend the next 4 years trying to develop. Like, bro, you might as well just stayed in college.
Yeah,
right. You could have been a higher draft pick.
But they need that money. I understand it. Even if you're
if you need it,
but you need the money. Exactly.
It's like Sebastian Telfair back in the day. Like his family needed that money like badly, so he had no choice. Like top rated high school player, but he fizzled out pretty quickly. So I mean, if he could have made money in college, it would have been smooth.
Right. Give you a chance to adapt. But yeah, I mean the Dukes, the Kentuckys, all these UNCs, all these teams that are kind of like one and done ish.
Kentucky's not even ranked this year.
They're
That's
shitty.
How bad they are.
Yeah, they're just bad because there's like you got a bunch of
18-year-old kids
that didn't even barely get to play this summer together. Thrown in to get like, bro, even at the college level, that one and done shit. Unless you got some Zions and some like killers, some Cam Reddishes, those kind of guys that are really ready to like play and physically ready. Even those freshmen can't always really dominate in college. This is a whole different level. Like I look at what's the old boy that came from Georgetown, Mac McClung. Like the way he's been playing, he's been pretty decent. So I don't know. I like to see the guys get 2-3 years in, really play. Like if I'm Mac McClung, I would leave this year because it's like, all right, at this point.
Well, I think he had because you can test the waters in the NBA. Like it's some type of thing they'll do. Like you can do a workout and they'll let you essentially know where you might get drafted. So I think that's another good. As long as you don't hire an agent, you can test the waters, see if you would get drafted, and if not, they'll give you your notes. You figure out what you need to work on. Go back to the lab.
And if you're not like a serious hooper, then that's one thing. But if you're just like, I can improve my stock 10 to 15 spots by staying.
Because that's money right there.
Sure. You can get paid in college. Hell yeah, let's do it.
Change the game. In entertainment, Emmanuel H.O. to replace Chris Harrison on The Bachelor. This came after,
I watched The Bachelor.
I do not.
I've only seen like The Bachelor maybe a handful of times over my lifetime.
17 of the 20 seasons.
Yeah, over the last 10 years, I may have watched an episode here and there if it's
Torrance,
on or
can
something.
We get you on The Bachelor?
No.
Why not? I feel like you would like that.
Chris Harrison, he had defended this white woman who was on, I believe, a 2000.
Wait. Why'd you pronounce woman like that? Who does that? that's from somewhere. Like it's gonna bother me the rest of the show. Where'd you get that from?
I don't recall. But this white woman, she had posted a picture that she was on she was at like a frat party, and the theme was antebellum plantation slavery. That was the theme in 2018 for this party that she was at, and the pictures were just revealed. And Chris Harrison was like, yeah, it's not okay to do it now in 2021, but back then it was 2018. I mean, cool. That's what you did.
I mean, it was kosher. Shit.
So, and people were like, what the fuck? And so he had to take a hiatus, is what they're saying.
He got canceled. Fired.
Essentially, he's taking a little break, a little sabbatical, if you will.
Sabbatical.
He's probably still getting paid.
Oh, absolutely.
This is like administrative leave, like when police shoot black people.
I was about to say, this is just police shit. Absolutely. Right. He's still getting paid for that episode that Emmanuel's about to do. He probably, he getting paid.
Is Emmanuel going to be the full-time host, or is it just for like a special?
I think it's just for the finale, but it could be for more. I'm sure it could be for more, depending on how long or like what legal shit that he's
got you. I didn't know that they were like mid-season or whatever. I thought this was going to be for the next.
Oh no. This is
like that.
Oh no, he's stepping down for like the last few days.
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
It's about to be over soon.
But that's tight for Emmanuel Acho. That's another bag. I mean, he's a former NFL player and he's a sports analyst now. He wrote a book called like Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man or something like that, and he talks to white people. He's one of those black people that talks to white people about race.
More power to him.
I don't prescribe to that.
Wow, that is.
But I mean, shit.
Y'all talking about the Elon shit.
It's the.
And like I said, some people do.
I said I would have.
They could have called Emmanuel.
I said I would have been there, but I wouldn't have been speaking. I'd just been taking notes in the back.
Cliff notes.
Okay.
Give me the cliff notes.
But yeah, shout out to him for that. Love to see a black man come up. D'Angelo versus
Did y'all watch?
I watched some of it. I was in the midst of other things, but I watched some of it.
It was almost 10 o'clock and the DJ was still on, and I'd honestly forgot that it was happening. I had just opened Instagram at 9:45. Was that last night? Yeah, last night. And I was like, Versus is live? What's happening? And then the DJ was playing. So I went back once or twice, but
yeah, it was interesting.
I didn't see any friends. Who were the friends?
Yeah. So like I think her performed. I didn't see her. I forget who else. There are a couple other people that jumped up there and performed with him. But it was nice because it was very different than the typical verses that it was like this person versus that person. I believe Raphael Sadiq was up there at one point as well. Okay. And I feel like Cam Newton. Okay. And it was great. I mean, for what I saw,
he had on was fire.
Was fire, and I need it. I can't. Opulence! I can't wait to drip like that. Oh my god! You can't tell me like shit. Oh my god! Couldn't tell me shit if I was in that caliber. Can't wait.
I will say though that kind of this solo versus is a very interesting premise. I think it could be pretty cool. I saw people talking about like Missy on Twitter today. I think some of those people who they don't really necessarily have like a contemporary like rival, I guess, or like somebody in their class from their like. I think that Missy could do one. I think that Usher could do one by himself. I think that Mariah Carey could do one by herself. You know, like people like that where no one's really in their class for 5 or 10 plus years on either end of them, essentially, and then they could bring on people that they've collabed with. And also, it's more COVID safe. There's less people around too.
Yeah, and it's great.
It could also be cool if I know we had some producer ones versus, but
I would love to see the producer ones come back because those were very fun to watch. With like the first, I think like it was like almost like the first 5 or 6 at least were producers.
Yeah. Scott Storch one, and
which makes sense because it's Swiss Beats and Timbaland, so like that makes sense that was sort of the target, and it just sort of expanded.
Jonte Austin one.
Yeah.
We had the T-Pain Lil Jon one, the Scott Storch Manny Fresh one, like you said, Danny. Yeah. Those ones were like really fun to listen to.
That was the most ratchet.
Sean Garrett. Which one?
Gucci versus Jeezy.
Oh yeah. That one
That
restored
was-
the feeling. The streets needed that one.
Yeah, that was crazy.
The Ross and 2 Chainz one was a close.
That
close.
one was probably the most entertaining, just because of all the antics that they were doing. Like they had the strippers there.
The strippers that
Ross was getting a massage. Like it was just like
it was wild. Like this is
entertaining.
a perform. Yeah, it was just ridiculous almost.
Me and Torrance should go versus.
Who?
Go ahead, bro.
Jacquees.
Ooh.
Avatar.
What you gonna do when he breaks out the E? What you gonna do? How you gonna respond?
In the club.
What you gonna do when he plays his version of Trip? Huh? How you gonna respond?
As only one could. Avatar Studios is announced. The creators of Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra, they're coming out with the studios and expanding on those series and building other series out as well.
It's a whole division of Nickelodeon, which is important.
Literally,
so that means that they'll have adequate funding, you would think,
to do everything and add Avatar Kyoshi. I'm speaking that into existence.
Ooh. Well, a book already, like a novel already.
A novel, yeah.
Her, so I wouldn't be surprised if she got a series, but I think it's an amazing way to expand the Avatar
if she
universe.
was the Avatar, yeah.
I think them coming on to Netflix, like both series going on to Netflix last year, was probably one of like the greatest things ever for those two creators, because it brought those shows back to life.
I think they said in May, like the Legend of Korra was like the most streamed like thing back in when it came out on Netflix.
Yeah,
for a while.
So I'm very, very, very excited for whenever the hell any of this happens, and I'll be glued for updates.
Yeah, that's very, very excited for that. And it'll be on Paramount Plus too, right?
No. Paramount Plus is launching in a couple of days. Another streaming service for people to sign up for.
But wait, I thought they had exclusive. Maybe I read it wrong. I don't know.
I know that Paramount has rights to Avatar: The Last Airbender, because I think it was like on the CBS platform. But I'm not sure where Avatar Studios will be housed. It could be on Paramount Plus. I
think it might be on Paramount Plus. I remember reading it earlier and being like, "Shit, I gotta get Paramount Plus." The fuck?
Right.
What is he doing?
I don't know. You're whispering too low, honestly.
This shit that nobody gives a fuck about. What y'all talking about?
Honestly, Dave.
You just don't give a fuck what we're talking about because you don't know. I sit through y'all talk about all kinds of fucking sports shit all the time. This is literally that I don't know nothing about.
This is literally what you're doing right now is what Torrance does when we talk about boxing or football.
And I'm on my fucking business, but you little you can't shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And listen for a second and learn something. Learn something.
Learn something. That's the worst. And learn something. Your trifling ass.
Sit and learn something for once.
Sorry, my bad.
We were rooting for you. And Snowfall is back. Actually, I didn't even finish Snowfall, and I feel bad.
What do you mean you didn't finish it?
I didn't start. I started the first season, and I stopped it.
Well, we're on season 4 now, so you should watch it because it's one of the best things smoking. No pun
I keep
intended.
hearing how amazing it is, but I think I got cut off because of something else, and then I just never went back.
Well, I mean, you should watch it. 10 episode seasons, I think. This is the fourth season. They dropped 2 episodes this past week. I'm very excited. It's looking good. Franklin's out here moving real wild, but
real loosey goosey.
Yeah, I don't know what Franklin's on right now, but I'm very excited for this season. I think John Singleton would be happy with the product that's being put out right now. Rest in peace to him.
This shit brick by brick. Sponsor break. This podcast is brought to you by all the memories we've had together. It's been a great ride.
He making it seem like we about to legit die.
Right?
This is about to be the last time we're ever doing anything.
This is definitely a podcast brought to you by your moments. We've had moments. We've had our ups and downs. You know, we've been on tour. We've been on. We've sold out arenas. It's been a great run. I really appreciate all the help.
That arena tour was wild.
Remember that arena tour we had? Crazy. But we're here now. Touring. And people have been asking in the in the subreddits and whatever, like what's going on with the group. And
is that how you know
we'll
you made it? Like when you did a subreddit?
Yeah.
Is that like a
Discord?
Yeah, Discord channel.
Yeah, people have been asking, hit me up and Danny, what's going on with it? What's up with you, Colin Torrance? And at time heals all wounds. That's typical.
I will fuck you up.
What are the wounds, Danny? They're the invisible ones, right?
Yeah, those are the ones that hurt the most.
That hurt the most, yeah. Those invisible emotional
at
wounds.
the end of the day, I think we're all still amicable, fellas. And I wish you two nothing but the best. But let's finish this podcast off. Whether it's strong or not, I don't quite know. And then we'll take it from there.
We'll just see where the wind blows us.
Yeah, this is it.
Do you want to intro the next section then? Dan?
Yeah, I'm sorry. So Twitter was talking about you had to be there moments. And what was some you had to be there moments for us?
You had to be there. The Kappa pageant where Torrance and I did a distro. You had to be there.
Oh my God, that's how reckless.
Very
so reckless.
You do what you want when you're the yard runners.
I remember sitting there and me and Kyle looking at each other like, I mean, if they play it, we getting up and we doing this distro. And I want to say the next song.
Right, it was literally within like 5 minutes.
It was the next song, and it was like, I guess I ain't gonna be no bitch, seeing as how I said it. So we got up and did it. You were there.
Because they were.
Yeah, you were. I think you were hosting. You and Naima.
No, the Kappa pageant.
Oh, maybe no. You weren't.
No, he didn't host that. I think we were.
It was Naima. It was Naima and somebody else.
No, she was in it.
One year, I think, and then she hosted it.
I'm thinking of a time where I had to get up and sing too, randomly, because it was
perform at a Kappa pageant. Maybe
no. They were passing the mic at the pageant because there was some technical difficulties
and
they were stalling. And I remember
that.
That's what I was saying. Maybe I'm getting stuff.
You had to be there.
But yeah, it was something like that.
Honestly, I put this topic in here, but I didn't.
Ooh, I have another one.
Go ahead.
When Elon lost to UNC 62-0 in 1,000-degree temperature weather.
Oh my God, that was the hottest thing ever.
Shut your fucking mouth.
That was hot.
Danny, I was proud of you. You were one of the leading receivers on the team that day.
With one catch, 5
You
yards.
were. You were successful. We were. It was great. It was great.
Look, I knew that game was going to be a long day when the mascot walked out of the tunnel and then immediately turned around and walked back in the locker room.
Boy, it was 100 and something degrees, boy. And we thought we was fresh as hell. We thought we got all white on. These bitch ass niggas can't see us. We be in UNC. Fuck UNC. Bruh.
Gio Bernard had his way with you all.
Right. This is right when the best UNC teams of like all time, like roster wise. Like it was like, Giovanni Bernard. It was so many guys that were like, Trey Boston, I think, was on the team.
Mm-hmm.
There was like 7 guys on the team to get drafted. And
the one person to get drafted from the Elon team that year, the ball hit his face mask on the first pass.
Bro, we was all rattled, bro. The whole squad, the whole squad was just like, okay, y'all. Like, cause what happened was,
look,
our coach Sweat, God bless this man. He was one of the worst football minds in the history of football. Like,
oh my gosh,
I didn't know.
Not to call somebody a bad coach. Their football mind.
He couldn't think the game.
Great man, or even a great motivator.
Great
but
great
just football mind wise, like what he displayed at least was equivalent to like a high level high school coach. So I'm not saying he's like, but like a high level high school coach, not a Division I football coach.
Yes,
that's going to beat UNC at UNC in 100-degree weather. So this nigga think he's like feeling himself. The other coach from UNC might have been brand new or he might have been the first year he coached Fedora. And so we typically in football, you go to the field the day before and like walk around and, stretch and go do walkthroughs and shit.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, we don't need to do that, guy. We don't. He was from Boston. We don't need to do that, man. You know, we'll be all right. So the first time we are in the stadium, it's like
a couple hours before kickoff.
And UNC is like a sports school, bro. Like even if they're not
That's what they do.
Football, but that is a sports school up
Mm-hmm.
and down. They'll have a pregame and a tailgate for soccer, lacrosse. They don't give a fuck. And boy, we went out there, and everybody from Merrill all the way down to the last second string kicker was rattled. Goodness, Giovanni Bernard looked like we earned him some money that day. That motherfucker
Absolutely, he looked like an
Barry
all-pro
Sanders.
running back.
Every
Barry
time
Sanders running through the hole.
I'm like, yeah,
I
dog.
remember how hot it was because we were so drunk. All of us were drunk.
It was
in the
easily
stand.
96 degrees like in
Yeah.
the stands that
And
day.
I'm drinking, and that's back when I drank vodka, so it was a long while ago.
Yeah, you
Drinking
didn't love
vodka
yourself.
in my cup with a mix. You was drinking vodka too. Shut up.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you
Mm-mm.
did. Shut up.
I had sworn off vodka by junior year.
All right, so I'm sorry. Another how to be there moment. Greek picnics.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of Greek life,
Mhm.
Atlanta Greek picnic.
Yes.
One time we randomly drove down with us, Kyle, the twins,
Nina
Juice.
and Juice. Yeah.
Yeah. Nina was there. It was like
Yeah.
half of us weren't even Greek.
None of the girls were
Yeah,
Greek. None of the girls that drove down with us were Greek. It was
Oh.
me, you, and Juice. We're the only Greek ones on that trip.
A random ratchet ass trip we went on.
Mhm.
The Real World Oak Hill. That was a great summer. That was probably one of my best summers, other than last summer. This past summer. We just ran. What's it? Atlanta? Is Atlanta Greek picnic still a thing?
It was.
I would imagine it.
Yeah.
In non-COVID times, I would imagine so.
Yeah, and non-COVID time it was. I remember getting like I got a text message out here about it back in 2019, something
I
like
hope
that.
you responded "stop" in all caps.
Oh, I always do. I still sometimes end up
out.
on the registry. But yeah, AGP is a great time. That's
Yeah,
Absolutely.
5 years ago. I couldn't go in. Even if I was single, I couldn't go. As a
Oh,
20.
nowadays?
I feel like there were people that were in their 20s that were pulling up.
You mean in their 30s or like late 20s?
Yeah,
People
I
were in
feel
our
like there were
20s pulling
older
up.
people.
I mean,
I don't think it was just college kids at all.
no. We went.
no.
Torrance, Carl and I went the summer after we graduated,
mhm.
and after that, I was like, I can never do this again. I was dying out there.
I was over it.
Hurt.
I said one and done. I'm tired.
And it's just like people strolling the whole time. And if you don't have like 13 niggas to stroll with, it's like not fun.
Mhm.
And then we were in the host hotels. Everybody was calling all night, and they had this thing open, and that person, and this person getting thrown out, and you had to have a special. It was a lot. I was like, this is too much,
Torrance went
I
to
remember-
sleep early that night.
I remember.
huh?
Torrance went to sleep like before midnight that night. He was like, I'm gonna take a nap.
I did.
And then he didn't wake up.
I took a nap. No, I woke up and then I went back downstairs at one point because
You're right, you're right.
We'll talk offline about that trip. I think
you-
I think we've never done. We've
We
never.
haven't. We'll talk.
debriefed.
We'll talk offline, big bro.
We'll have to talk.
All right, I stopped
offline.
recording. Go ahead.
Shut up, bro.
All right, I'm not recording. Go ahead.
Yeah,
What you
I
about
pressed
to
pause. Go
Hold on,
ahead.
I stopped it. We all stopped everything. What,
Tell us your
go
deepest,
ahead.
darkest secret, real quick.
What happened? What happened? What was you doing on there?
say? Damn, fuck Torrance. What do you have any you had to be there moments, Torrance?
I don't know.
No, because all of the Torrances you had to be the moments you won't tell anybody about. Too wild for TV. Too wild for
Nah.
podcast.
I say, I don't know. For me, it was you had to be there when we would like travel to things like that. That Chapel Hill joint
Mm-hmm.
our senior year. I forgot what it was, like a ball, whatever. it was
Oh yeah,
called.
that was fun.
That was fun.
That was definitely fun.
That was a good time. That was a good. But then we also like traveled to many different spots. Like it was, yeah, like
I feel like going to
I feel like Danny missions, you just had to be there. Honestly, like you will.
Period. Danny mentioned you had to be there.
Shut your fucking mouth.
It'll never not be a Danny mission though.
Who coined that? Was it Brandon?
Brandon. It was Brandon.
Because he was pissed off. He was like, "We're on these fucking Danny missions or something."
It was crazy because it was just the three of us. It was just me, him. I was driving, me, Danny, and Brandon in the back, and it was wild. It was funny. It was
Where we go? Where
we went to Chapel Hill, and we went because we were out on Franklin Street, and we were at this bar and this brewery, and I remember it. And it was kind of cold.
All I know is Brandon was very upset in chapter the next day.
Oh, for real? I thought if the thing was, bro, like my thing was like, all right, we didn't necessarily have people that could take us places. So I always try to like new bros or whatever. Like, come on, pull up. You know, we were never doing like any crazy stuff when we would travel. Like, you know, we go party, drive back. And so like I guess bro was upset. I don't know what.
We'll have to talk offline about that because that's something else we got to. Yes, you had to be there, baby. You had to be there for that shit. I'm telling you.
Wait, man.
You had to be there, Mooney. You had to be there.
Oh, Mooney. Oh,
you had to be there, Mooney. Child.
Mooney.
You did have to be there.
Oh my God! All these black people in class.
Was it Big Sister Clorox? Yes. Yes. You had to be there.
They knew what was going on. They had to know what was going on. What a time to be alive.
Yeah, no. That was Elon wasn't necessarily the best experience for like as far as holistically was concerned with everything, but we definitely made Elon be as great as it could possibly be.
Had to.
And we did a great job of it. Like we weren't afraid to just do and go and be and exist. And
college, was there any like pre or post college you had to be there moments?
Let's see.
I've had some fun times in Charlotte. Charlotte was some fun times.
I'll say your wedding was
a
fun
like time.
Your wedding was like very, very fun. I mean, I was scared shitless of traveling, but like your wedding, if I got Rona, I got Rona. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I wasn't gonna miss that. So,
and nobody got
Rona. And it was a beautiful small celebration of love. And I got to see my people, which is
that was a really good time. Cause I mean, it sounds weird to be like I had a good time at my own wedding, but I genuinely did because I feel like the music was fun and good. I was surprised. The DJs over delivered. I was worried about them.
Yeah, they were good.
We just kept drinking and turning up all night, so that made it even more.
And I think the other thing was like it was truly like we're not blood relatives, but it was really all family there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it felt like we talked
exactly like we over there turning up with your mama and stuff.
Yeah, like we were talking like we had known each other, like everybody knew each other for years, kind of vibe. Like since we grew up together, kind of vibe. Yeah. So it was definitely very family. Like it just felt like family.
Yeah, that was definitely fun. Vegas trip was fun. Even the first LA trip we did when I think y'all might have had just moved out there.
Yeah, I was out there. Torrance wasn't there yet. That was like 2015.
Carl's bachelor party was a fucking movie.
Yes,
that was
Toronto.
You know, I was a broke bitch, so
yeah, we've had some good. You had to be there moments. We got to make some more as soon as we get vaccinated and the streets are safe.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to go down memory lane because I saw a lot of pictures and memes of you had to be there. So I'm like, damn, we had a lot of a decade at least of. Or just about you had to be there moments. Anyways, Black History figures.
Yeah. I can go first.
Go first.
I'll go first. I chose Doug Williams this week, quarterback for the Washington Redskins back in the 80s, now known as the Washington football team. But he was born in 1955 in Louisiana, I believe. And he was the first black quarterback to both start and win a Super Bowl, and that was Super Bowl 22. And that was actually a very momentous occasion because it really proved to the rest of the league that black people could play quarterback. I think if you pay attention to football, you still see the knocks that black quarterbacks get and kind of their draft coverage and like draft potential stuff. There's always stuff, oh, is he smart enough to read the defense and all that other type of stuff. Well, back in the 80s, they weren't even sure black people could really just play quarterback at all. So the fact that he was able to win that game, he won the MVP too, put up 340 yards passing with 4 touchdowns, was a monster game. I think they were playing the Broncos in that game. In college, he played at Grambling State under the famed coach Eddie Robinson. In 1977, he led the NCAA in total yards from scrimmage, passing yards, total touchdown passes, and yards per play. And he finished 4th in the Heisman voting, which is crazy to think that somebody at Grambling State, which is at HBCU, was a Heisman finalist. That just shows how good he was.
Crazy.
And now he serves as a senior advisor to the team president of the Washington football team, who's actually a black man, I believe. So yeah, Doug Williams.
I don't have a real drawn out explanation, but mine is Red Fox. Once again, another black comedian legend.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like maybe I'm not 100% right on this, but like Red Fox just felt like one of the first black people to be on like TV and like, not to say be on TV, but like modern like stand-up comedians on TV with the TV show that I can remember at least. I'm sure there's probably maybe some a little bit before or after. But like I like seeing Sanford and Sons and knowing like the timing of Sanford and Sons, it felt like as a kid, even though 20 years or so, 30 years after it aired, it's like, oh, this is an OG. You could just tell that like, I don't know, it just was
he lived, he knew what he was. Yeah.
A cool like thing to see that, you know, if my parents were my age, they couldn't see someone that was older that had already made it and then had a show and has then, you know, passed on or like whatever on TV. So that, like a lot of, I mean, I feel like as a kid, I didn't even know really that he was dead for real, because you saw Sanford and Son so much on TV. I feel like as a young kid.
Yeah, it was always on, always.
Yeah, and just a funny, and I listened to a lot of his jokes now, like on Serious and stuff. Kind of like the riddle kind of jokes he would tell, and it's like word play, it's rhyming. It was just it was just cool. I don't know, it's just cool to hear different styles, different genres of comedy. I watched Harlem Nights for the first time a couple years ago.
Yeah,
a crazy good movie.
One of my favorite movies.
Also, I was speaking of Harlem Nights, I was watching Life a couple weeks ago, and the scene where Eddie Murphy gets in the fight with Cookie after the cornbread scene, he says like, that's the hardest I've been hit since Della or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's when he got in the fight with Della.
I like that.
It was just like an interesting connection between movies that I hadn't picked up on before I watched that movie.
I didn't know that. I didn't realize that either.
My Black History Month figure is Pharrell Williams.
Ooh.
Amazing producer, songwriter, singer, performer, all the above. Has accolades forever, but began with the Neptunes in the 1990s, producing, and then became the lead vocalist of NERD. And they literally changed the game. Pharrell's has been a part of the industry for quite some time. And is still going strong. I mean, he was just with The Voice, and I mean, he did The Voice for a while and all this stuff. He was nominated for like, I think he has 13 Grammys, but nominated 48 times for the Grammys, which is absurd.
He's also a vampire.
He has a Brit Award. Okay. Also looks the same as he did when he was 20 years old. So that's worth acknowledging. But he's just one of the most talented sort of producers that I've ever sort of come across. I remember growing up and hearing about Pharrell and listening to NERD and all that stuff, and then being like, oh shit, he produced this.
Yeah.
He produced this Beyonce track. He produced this Jay-Z track. He
That
produced that.
Sing Sounds album, that NERD Sing Sounds album was like constantly in rotation going home from school. I think that was like between 2006 and 2008 or something like that.
Yeah.
That was in constant rotation back then.
I forgot what the album was that I couldn't turn off. I'm trying to think what that is.
Even stylistically, style wise, like dress, it's cool to see how many different ways he's been like extremely influential.
Yeah.
Outside of just the music. Babe,
absolutely.
And, Human Made and other just Adidas
ice cream sneakers.
Yeah.
BBC, that whole collab.
All that stuff. It's like
major dude.
That dude's really, he's just a creator, and it's just it's inspiring.
Yeah.
He even has a skincare line now, actually.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know about the skincare line. Wait a minute.
Yeah, it came out late last year, I want to say, at some point. Are you looking up the title of the album?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What was it? When all the Justin Timberlake shit came up, I didn't realize he produced that album, the Justin Timberlake album from way back when. There's so many dope projects. Like, oh, that's like even. Then I also was listening to Pharrell when with the Daft Punk news came out.
Yeah,
Sing Sounds was my shit.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was. That dude is just a different animal that I'm happy people acknowledge him.
Yeah, he would also be in one of those producer classes where I would love to see him do a solo versus.
Easy.
It would take too long. It would be 3-4
It would have to be a solo versus.
Yeah, I would love to see a solo versus out of him. That'd be great to see.
Like he could only really fuck with guys like, I don't know. I don't even want to say something stupid.
It honestly, it might have to be a Timberland or
Swizz Beats. That's what
for
who
people in
would
his
have to be.
Contemporary class.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty much. I don't know. Anyways, what are we watching?
I started watching Young Rock, which is The Rock's new TV show on ABC, NBC. I don't know. I watched it on Hulu. 2 episodes dropped. It was actually pretty entertaining. He's like running for president in 2032 or whatever in the show. And so he's interviewing with Randall Park, the actor, as a TV host or whatever. And he's telling him about his childhood. So they're going back or whatever. But it's an entertaining show. I laughed at it. 2 episodes. Decent little sitcom watch.
I watched part of it. Seemed cool. Keenan's, I think, is also because it's on NBC. I think I watched.
Yeah, I need to watch. I added that to my list last night. I saw 2 episodes came out for that, so I want to check that out this week.
It's good. It's like I guess it's single cam, so it doesn't feel as like cheesy or as limited as like a sitcom, like a typical sitcom would. Yeah. So it's kind of shot similar to how 30 Rock was.
Okay.
It has a 30 Rock kind of vibe to it. Like you can kind of tell it's like shot on a set, but it's not like a set. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This show that I watched, we binged the first season all pretty much today. Canine Intervention.
So I saw that
pop up,
and I was like, don't know.
I need to watch. I need some tips for soccer.
Y'all got dogs, so
yeah, I'm gonna tap in on that.
It's a good little feel good, 30-minute episode, 6 episodes.
Oh, that's a quick watch.
Black dude owns his own kennel and dog training service and like a breeding service. So he's just helping motherfuckers train the dogs. And it's like, it has nice like documentary style pieces around the humans and the dogs kind of intermingled. So it's not just like a Animal Planet kind of thing, but it is mostly Black people. So it makes it a little bit more cooler. Or people of color, I should say. So it makes it a little bit cooler to watch. I enjoyed it a lot. We fucking ran through it.
I'll have to check that out.
It's a good way to end your night because it's not like toxic.
Nothing heavy or anything like that.
Yeah.
Anything else from you, Torrance, you've been watching?
Just WandaVision.
Oh, Torrance, did you watch the new Billie Holiday movie? that came out this week?
I did not watch it.
The
It's
People
on
versus
Hulu.
Billie
That's
Holiday
on my
on Hulu?
yeah, that's on my list to watch later on, sometime this week. I'm gonna watch it. I heard it was great.
Yeah, my parents watched it yesterday. My mom liked it. My dad said he thought it was okay. He thought like the acting was really good, and Andra Day was phenomenal in it.
Yeah, Andra, I figured she was going to kill this role. When I heard that she was going to be Billie Holiday, I was like, oh yeah, she's going to.
I'm just very glad that she's going to be known for something other than Rise Up now. So
you're broken up and tired. Oh my gosh, that song.
Yeah, I'm very glad.
Drove me crazy. But yeah, I do plan on watching that sometime this week. I gotta be in a space to watch that because that's gonna be heavy.
Yeah, you gotta be in the mood to watch something like that.
Yeah.
I still haven't watched the Miami joint. The
One Night in Miami.
Yeah, I haven't watched
that.
That's
good too. I also watched Danny that Tekashi doc that you mentioned last week. I watched the first episode of it last night. I was like tired and didn't want to think about what I was gonna watch. It's actually interesting. I'm not gonna lie. The science behind it and the people that they do interview, like they interviewed his biological dad and have some audio tapes from when he was on house arrest and stuff like that. So it's an interesting documentary. I'm not gonna hold you.
Yeah. Okay.
It doesn't make you like him.
No, not at all.
That's what. But yeah, I figured it wouldn't.
It paints the picture of how this came to be, essentially. Like they interviewed the CEO of Treyway Records or whatever, aka the dude that brought him into the gang life, essentially. Too. So it was like it's an interesting watch.
I don't know. I feel like for me, and like I said, this is definitely personal, and maybe it's just whatever. But I don't give a damn how that little white boy came to be.
He's like next.
Oh, he's a little Latino. He's a little Latin boy.
He's Latin. He's Mexican and Puerto Rican.
I don't give a damn how the little Latin boy came to be.
Torrance, people also have been complaining about you miss
identifying. Go ahead, keep going.
Identifying.
I'll finish it.
Honestly, Torrance, while we're on break, we're actually going to have some mandatory sensitivity trainings. We're actually going to be bringing in a DEI counselor to take us through a whole curriculum. I think specifically Danny. I think Danny could use a lot of work. But Torrance, I think we'll start you at level.
Kyle,
2,
you're gonna
open
you're gonna open your mouth and say that you.
Truth is
okay. Great.
Open my mouth to say what?
Great.
I said we're going to be taking it. Danny's gonna start at base 1. We'll put you at intermediate. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like I'm advanced as a motherfucker, but whatever.
Danny has been reading comments left and right where people have been sending in concerning notes about you, Torrance. So I mean,
left and right, huh?
Left and right.
I would like to see the receipts.
DM'd and the mentions.
I would like to see the receipts.
They're in your case file.
Okay.
We'll walk.
All right. Well, they haven't been brought to my attention. Therefore,
we're going to have annual reviews as well before we come back on air. So
have you ever
we'll go through
somebody up at work?
Sorry?
It was great. This chick was kind of racist. I read her up. She was written up at work.
No, I've never been written up at work. No.
Yeah, so y'all pussy. All right, cool. Final thoughts.
Have you?
Yes, that's what I was about to
say. For what? What'd you do?
A lady being racist.
Oh
no, he wrote somebody else up. That's what he wrote somebody.
I've never been a people manager, so I don't have anybody to write up. No one reports into me.
Like I do. Sometimes you're put in positions where you have to make hard decisions.
What did she do? What was her racist infraction?
She said one time she was like, it was a couple of things.
She called you a bitch ass nigga?
Kyle, please.
She said that to Dan?
And all you did was write her up?
Yeah, you weak as hell.
She got a written warning. Danny, you bitch.
That was funny, actually. That was actually
So prefer what she do.
She said after we interviewed somebody, she was like, yeah, I don't know about that guy. I just don't like people. He was a white dude. But she was like, I just don't like people from small schools. And she told me that to my face. I'm like, okay, mind you, she didn't go to she's from out west. It ain't like she went to UCLA or USC or Berkeley. She went to Arizona. I'm like, bitch, you just racist because it's like, because what are you trying to say? Because these big schools, these big PWI schools there's like 4% black people. So you're pretty much automatically saying, if I never heard of your HBCU, if it's not, some big Pac-12 or Big 10 school, then
your degree means nothing, and you
inherently racist, right? And I didn't go to a big school, so you're this fucking stupid to say I only like people from big schools. Bitch, my school was small. So what are you talking? And I'm younger than you with the same job. So what are you talking about? And she did other shit with like going into people's like CRMs and stuff, and like black kids, and like checking in with see it like activity. It was a lot of bullshit. Shout out to
girl, mind your business.
Exactly.
Right?
So I had to go to HR and be like, let me go ahead and write this up.
White people always think they're the police. I had to tell two people in my apartment building, two white women in my apartment building, to literally shut up yesterday.
Oh, Kyle, you're definitely
No, because they always think they're damn police, bro. Like, shut up.
What was they saying?
Well, one person, I had somebody coming over to the apartment or wherever, and they pulled into the wrong side of the driveway. And so I was outside. I was like, no, don't come in here. Just go that way. And so this annoying woman that I really don't like in my building, I have beef with her anyway. She gonna roll down her car window and yell, "You can't go in that way!" And so I looked over at her and I yelled, "Shut up, Nancy!" And I went about my day. And then later in the day,
Shut up, Nancy.
Her name is Nancy, so I told her to shut up. And then later in the day,
How do you even know her name?
Because she introduced me. We live on the same floor. So she's like introduced herself to me when we first moved into the building or whatever.
No, she's one of those.
But she's been like real fake off and on. She wrote us like a real passive aggressive letter once about it being a quiet building or whatever. Or like there was like gospel music playing at 11 o'clock in the morning on a TV. Like it wasn't even loud. You know what I'm saying? And then the second person I had to tell shut up, I go into the mail room and I bring Sokka with me, my puppy. And there was this white woman in there, and I like pulled him to the side so he wouldn't go after her. And excuse me, let me get past you. She goes, there's no dogs allowed in the mail room. And I said, oh, okay. So I continue to go to my mailbox, put my key in, and as I'm doing that, she goes, so he really shouldn't be in here. And I said, oh, okay. And then I kept checking my mail, and then as I'm walking out, she says something to me. So I turn around to her, and I tell her ass to shut up too. Because she ain't the boss.
Damn,
like, they always think they're the police, and it irks the hell out of me. And it's Black History Month, so
you gotta mind your goddamn business.
Mind your damn business.
You don't know what I got.
You getting written up by the police. You wanna like?
She went in like snitched to the lady at the concierge desk too.
Yeah, you can't talk to people. You're going to.
I'll be like, bitch, I'm moving out today. Goodbye.
That's what I told her.
I said, girl, shut up.
I said, I'm leaving today. I don't care. Mind you, no one has ever said anything to me about having my dog in the mailroom, and I've seen 5 trillion dogs in that mailroom before.
Yeah, I as a person who doesn't like apartment living, once I live in apartment living, I understand that I'm not in my own house or in a house, so I've forfeited a lot of the right to a lot of comforts because you're just forced to live amongst people.
Exactly.
Anywho, sorry, this is gonna go. This is already an hour and 20-minute long podcast. Final thoughts. So we're taking a break to the summer. If you're listening this long, we are all moving to LA this summer, and we are very, very, very excited. So this time, until that time, we're going to plan a lot of episodes, a lot of guests. Beef up the YouTube so that we're all in the same space together. It's going to be a totally different vibe and great vibe of the show. In the meantime, I'll be putting out the room episodes starting next week out for at least another 10 episode run, and then go from there. See what shakes. We'll pop in maybe here and there for a special episode, whether it's the Grammys or something. Somebody gets pregnant or whatever. One of y'all two. We'll do a baby shower on Zoom. It's been a great little back-to-back run of the show.
My final thought, I'm very excited for us to all be in the same place finally. I think outside of our live shows, we've only done one episode where we're all physically in the same location, and that was like a homecoming show where we just recorded it in the Alpha House. So I'm very excited for us to finally be together. It's been going on year 5 of this podcast. I think year 4. or something. We're on year 4, I think.
We're on
I think it's 5 years in November, maybe, or something like that. I don't know. But I'm just very excited to get into planning and stuff like that. And go ahead and listen to our back catalog if you missed us while we're gone.
Yeah, the homecoming shows are great. The live shows are great. Yeah, I don't know. My final thought is just get in the groove. I'm getting in the groove, producing shows again, on shows, doing stand up. Got to get back to it, man.
Yeah.
Be down so long.
Yeah, my final thought, basically echoing that shit. Very excited for all of us to be in the same space. We'll be able to do a whole lot more, I think, and be able to provide a lot more to you guys once we're all in the same space and are locked in. Very excited for that. While I'm away, I'm gonna be working on my EP, getting that together, trying to level up there, doing some Torrance Got Notes videos. Hopefully I'll have more time to do that as time goes on and things like that. But
also while we're all there, me and Danny can come to the studio session and lay down our verses too for your EP. Yeah. So hopefully you'll still be working on it by then, so we can, you know what I'm saying, get you right. We want to help you. You know what I'm saying? So if we can help improve your product, I think that you should accept the help and the offer.
You definitely should.
Yeah. So you can actually sing background vocals, Torrance, on our track. It'll be Dan, and Kyle featuring Torrance.
Oh, okay.
On your EP.
On my EP.
Yes.
On my track. Got it. Excellent. Yeah. Glad we're on the same page. Sounds
your feature is the most important part of it, of course, but it's our song.
It's your song. Your EP. So you get the rights to every.
We can tack it on as a bonus track if you want.
Yeah. Okay, I'll make sure to do that. I'll talk with the producer.
We already did that.
Yeah, you don't have to actually.
Yeah, because you were a couple minutes late, and so we handled that during pre-production. So he hopped off like 2 minutes before you got on. Actually.
Yeah, actually, you are no longer really. How should I say this? At liberty to talk to that person without.
All right. Anyway. All
right, it's been real.
This was excellent.
We'll be back whenever the fuck we feel like it. Probably gonna be a long time, but this has been great.
Yeah. Deuces. Love y'all. Peace.